Of Mr. Thomas Purcell. Pray, take your time in resuming your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about being the last one in, madam. It only means we're all looking at you. I trust you all found our lavatorial facilities, which are second to none in the district. As a matter of fact, there are none in the district. Now, incidentally, if you are enjoying our modest effort this evening, I heartily recommend that you return to this venue next week when the Music Hall Royale presents its most ambitious and daring effort to date, Hamlet, Part 2. You kill me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we take the tangled threads of plot left dangling before the interval and attempt to tie them together, let us unite, as has been tradition here at the Music Hall Royale, in a chorus of that sturdy hymn to our endearing and beloved land. England reigns.
Like it rains every day over hill and hill, and it will if I have my say. British songs never sound till they burn you down. No, they all get to shine on the strand and its lanes, down the strand, on the mains till the trains till the Serpentine.
Rested, relaxed, restored, and more than ready to conclude what has certainly been the most ambitious effort to date here at the Music Hall Royale. The mystery of
Edwin Drood!
6 months have passed. An English summer is in progress, and still there is to be found no trace of young Edwin Drood. But there are further developments. 2 inquiring sleuths have arrived on the scene. One being the Princess Puffer, whom you have already met, and the other being a man of mystery, a detective who wears a bulky coat, a fulsome beard, and the name of Dick Datchery. I said Dick Datchery. Right. These apparent sleuths approach with grand intentions and great expectations, which I might add, we will be performing in Brighton next season. As, like ourselves, they now arrive upon Cloisterham Station. Jasper, returning from another treatment in London. But please note, among the many curious souls of Cloisterham, none are more intently curious than these two sleuths.
I'm on the track of a man in black. He's disappeared before the smoke cleared. My descent of a resident. I'll check them well, inspect the personnel. I'm led upon a double chase. Dead and gone without a trace. This is a private investigation. When did Drood depart? Therefore on his destination. It's a private investigation. Vanished in the air or vanished wearing operation. On the trail of a small detail, I drew a bead upon a clue I need. I'll navigate as beyond first mate. Incognito, into the fog we go. I'm not a man of any means. I'll search instead behind the scenes. This is a private investigation. When did Drood depart? Wherefore on his destination? It's a private investigation. Turn this private club to a public situation. It's a private. When did Drood depart? Wherefore on his destination? It's a private investigation. The Drood has gone not beyond my estimation. I'll peer and pry and scrutinize. I'm steering by, pursuing lies. I clearly spy with my sly private eye.
Ah, Mother Crisparkle, there you are. All things bright and beautiful tonight, don't you think?
Yes, it is as if the stars were mere punctures in the ceiling of the earth, through which heaven's light can be seen. Oh, something along those lines. I only wish that my assistant Basil, who was out on business, could see such a night as this.
Come on now, boy. Here's a face we've not seen before. Welcome to fair Cloisterham, Cap'n. I'm in the way of being official greeter to all those who might have the price of a bottle of wine on them. My name is Durdles.
My name is Datchery, Dick Datchery, and I was wondering if any lodgings could be found in these parts.
Oh, no doubt, Mr. Datchery.
Something architectural and out of the way inconvenient.
Oh, we have any number of inconvenient lodgings here in Cloisterham, sir.
Close to the cathedral as well.
Excuse me, sir. I couldn't help but overhearing. Now, let's see. The only such accommodations that I know of along those lines are that of the rooms above Mr. John Jasper. He's a great admirer of my own.
Ah, is that the fellow who has been much afflicted by the loss of his nephew, Edwin Drood?
Wait on, boy. This much afflicted fellow, Mr. John Jasper. Is he always dressed in mourning these days?
That's the man, and you won't catch me going near him again.
Why is that, boy?
Because I'm gonna be lifted off my legs and choked again.
I find that most interesting. I shall enjoy watching the comings and goings of this town.
That man should speak to his barber.
Excuse me, miss. Do you know where a Mr. John Jasper... Oh, are you ill? No. I always look this way.
have both been guilty of neglecting your music lessons. When shall we resume?
Never, sir.
Am I being politely told that you have abandoned your studies altogether?
The politeness is yours, not mine. I beg not to be questioned. I will not answer anymore. At the least, I have that in my power.
Rosa, please.
I do not wish to hear you, sir.
I do not forget how many eyes command a view of us. But you shall hear me, even against your wishes. Charming Rosa, when my own dear boy was engaged to you, I loved you madly. I hid our secret loyally. Did I not?
You were false to him, sir, daily and hourly as you are now. You made me afraid to open his kind eyes to the truth, that you are a bad, bad man.
How beautiful you are. Oh, gosh, you are more beautiful in anger than repose. I don't need your love. Give me yourself. That pretty rage, that enchanting scorn. It will be enough for me.
You're mad.
I mean to show you how mad my love is.
Love? How dare you use that word?
Yes.
Love's but a word that wandered here from pastures green, where it was rarely said or seen or seldom sung. Innocent enough it was intended to be used on rare occasions, not abused by every tongue. Rarely has a word been ever taken so in vain, where little meaning might remain as quickly blurred. Never has there been so quite exhausted such a term. Your silent syllables confirm how drained this word. You call it love.
I call it love.
I call it rude.
You call it rude.
You call it love.
You think me just
I call it lewd.
a bit too crude.
I call it cruel.
And neither fool.
I cannot bear.
Yet still I dare to call it love.
I think it foul.
I see you scowl.
think it vile.
See me smile. This you'll outbreak.
A cutting guard.
I've no denial.
Worse than that.
My words are mad.
You get to sing.
I only seek the name of love.
Rosebud, the dainty little was every curl confirmed. She's a child, a girl in neophyte. Rosa is the only sort who senses the sort of dreams you dream at night. Did you think your stare would stop my seeing every fiber of my being? Told me since I was betrothed that your most unnatural attention conjures words I dare not mention. You must know how much I've loathed to know your wants.
You know my
To
wants.
see you clutch.
I need not clutch.
To hear your voice.
You have no choice.
To feel your touch.
It is so
A
much
dreadful task
for me to ask.
to even speak
I only seek the name of love.
I will not fear
I love to hear
my tragic plight.
the angry bite
I have a choice.
of your fair voice.
I'll take to flight.
One blazing
I'll not
night,
permit
you will
you
submit
to desecrate
and give your faith
the name of love.
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 The name of love. La 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 la.
Love and willing to
me.
beneath these skies one night unknown. Would she dare you shall be soon a golden idol, whom I own and love, and lead it towards sea of light, this but the falling moon.
Well, I've just overheard something, and now I have one of the very bits of information I came here for.
And you're leaving Cloisterham already?
Not bloody likely. I didn't come this far only to turn back and put one piece of puzzle in my hand. Never in my wretched life have I been this close to getting what I wanted. More the fool I'd be to turn back just when I'm winning. I've never understood those in life who ease up just when they should press on. Once I bet I lost 10 pence and won. Twice as rich than friends and call it done. How sad I said, so that's your wildest dream, eh? Then 20 pence instead of 10. Double up me bet again. In life we start the same as when we're done. If you lose, you're just where you've begun. If you've won, don't quit while you're ahead. Just press your blessed luck instead. Don't try to think what move might be the best. Use the heart that beats within your breast. Never rest. Don't quit while you're ahead. Sing out, there's more in store for me.
I see my dream ship finally coming in like a steamship, anchored into wind.
Lift your chin. Remember what I said. Don't quit while you're ahead. Let go. I know there must be love that's yet to be. Only just 3 winks away from me, hopefully.
Don't quit while you're ahead. Don't worry how you tread. Who cares? And there's the chance. One pipe dream that is mine, a romance quite ripe upon the vine.
Don't resign. No victor ever fled. Don't
Quit while you're ahead.
to stay
Ladies and gentlemen, it was at this point in our story when Mr. Charles Dickens laid down his pen to rest forever. So this is all we should ever really know about the mystery of Edwin Drood. But tonight, however, at least within the humble confines of this theater, we shall together solve, resolve, and conclude the mystery of Edwin Drood. Now, one minor mystery that we can resolve, though it has little to do with our plot at hand, is that of the detective, Dick Datchery. You see, most literary experts agree that the part of Datchery has been portrayed by someone we have already met. A character from Act 1 who was roaming Cloisterham to better investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood. So, as you have no doubt already guessed, the part of Dick Datchery has been portrayed thus far by that master and mistress of male impersonation, Miss Alice Nutting. But this does not mean that Drood is Datchery. Oh, no, far from it. You see, the reason for Miss Nutting's portrayal of Dick Datchery this evening is, well, you see, Miss Nutting was contracted to appear in 2 acts of our play, and our management believes in an honest week's work for an honest day's pay, if you catch my drift. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, however, our questions will be primarily answered by you. But first, in a daring and perhaps dangerously democratic move, the Music Hall Royale has decided to grant our company the right to vote upon one issue each night. And so, my fellow acolytes of the thespianic nature, what shall be your question for this evening? Mr. Throttle.
Who killed Edwin Drood? Miss Nutting, who has vested interest in the outcome, will kindly turn her back to the cast. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as your whim takes you this evening, all those who believe Edwin Drood is dead, please raise your hands now. Thank you. Now, all those who believe Edwin Drood is alive, do the same now, if you please. Thank you.
Well, that obviously answers our question, is Edwin Drood dead or alive? Miss Nutting, I fear you snuffed it by a massive majority, though. So, this brings us to our next question. Who is the detective Dick Datchery? Edwin Drood can be safely eliminated from the consideration since our cast has voted her dead for the remainder of the evening.
Dead? And bloody! You envious little twits! It's obvious to everyone here that Drood, that I am Datchery. And it's even more transparent that this petty, jealous cast bitterly resents all the attention I've received in the local press. Goodbye, all!
Miss Nutting, are you finished? Yes, Miss Nutting, really? You have no idea the week we've had with her. First, her dressing room was too small, and then her beard was too long. I told her she was splitting hairs, but, oh, God. Please yourself. It wasn't that bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I must strenuously point out for our cast and for our story that most and all literary experts agree and disagree with Miss Nutting's contention that Edwin Drood and Dick Datchery are one and the same. Now, we have several prime candidates for the face behind Datchery's beard. First, I offer you Helena Landless. About her, Neville revealed in Act 1.
In desperation, Helena tried on more than one occasion to free her stepfather's cruel and miserly hand, even disguising herself as a boy.
Ah, a hit, a palpable hit. But wouldn't Helena Landless be fearful to pursue John Jasper under these circumstances?
Not under any circumstances.
But the list hardly ends there. What say you of Basil?
I love the theatrical world,
but there are stages beyond the proscenium. I want to play a larger part.
Yes, who more likely to don such melodramatic garb and seek the spotlight? Why otherwise does he appear in our story at all?
From my earliest remembrances, I've been both secret and revengeful.
Ah, Neville Landless. Who more likely to investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood than he who has been most accused of foul play himself? Or did someone else wish to clear Neville's name?
The Mother Crisparkle. Neville has been entrusted to my care.
Ah, yes, the Mother Crisparkle. Who better to investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood? Her passions and energies lay hidden beneath her clerical garb. Did she take on another uniform, that of Datchery, to further investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood and to clear the name of the lad who has been her charge and responsibility? And then, my friends, there is the puzzling and intriguing possibility of Rosa. Have we underestimated the resourcefulness of this woman child? Did she take it upon herself to investigate the disappearance of Edwin Drood? Looks can be deceiving.
I'll say.
Now, this much I do know for certain. The detective Dick Datchery is not John Jasper, the Princess Puffer, Durdle's deputy, or even my own Mayor Sapsia. For in our story and in Mr. Dickens' novel, they all appear in scenes with him or appear in his company. So, we are left with these following candidates for the role of the detective Dick Datchery. And might I suggest that we vote by the way it is done in amateur theatrical contests. When the handkerchief is placed above the head of each candidate, Mr. Throttle will name the candidate and then pray applaud for your own favorite in the role of Dick Datchery. And I might remind you, we do have larger decisions still yet to decide on. We have to pick the murderer of Edwin Drood. So don't vote for whichever cast member is your distant cousin, for God's sake. Mr. Throttle.
The tempestuous Miss Helena Landless. The ecstatic, ecclesiastic Mother Crisparkle. The lovely Miss Rosa Budd. The underrated Mr. Bazard. And all the way from Ceylon, Mr. Neville Landless.
Well, the race seems to be between Rosa and Bazard, if my ears do not deceive me. So why don't you two step forward, and we'll have a runoff, shall we? Yes.
What about the Mother Crisparkle?
Yes, yes. All right. A runoff between all three of them. My ears are not as perceptive as they once were. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Now, again, Mr. Throttle, please make your choice clear to me. Thank you. Mr. Throttle?
The lovely Miss Rosa Budd. The ecstatic, ecclesiastic Mother Crisparkle. And the underrated Mr. Bazard.
Well, I believe it's Mother Crisparkle. Congratulations. You best make a quick change of costume. I can see several of the male audience members all ready to assist you in the process. Oh. And now, we move to a much larger decision that we still have to... Miss Nutting, really? Well, I've never missed nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll have to forgive such appalling behavior. This is entirely due to her upbringing. Her parents were in the iron and steel business. Mother irons, father steals. Oh, you didn't like that one? Well, how about this? Previously to this, she was known as the orthopedic soprano. She sang in all the joints. The joints. Orthopedic. Now, as in all great mystery novels, we have to find ourselves a culprit, a killer, a fiend. In short, the murderer of the dear, departed, late lamented, title character of our evening story, young Edwin Drood. Oh, shut up. One more outburst like that, and I'll have you all sent back to the Salvation Army, and we'll have you out in the rain singing Jesus Wants Me for a Sunbeam. Now, who killed Edwin Drood, and who shall be your murderer for tonight? Now, some cast members can be safely eliminated from the consideration. But first, I would like to offer you the obvious candidate for the villain of the piece, Mr. Clive Paget in the role of John Jasper. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you know here at the Music Hall Royale, we boo and hiss the villain? We'll have to do this all over again. You don't seem to understand. And if you don't get it right this time, I'll have you all form a line up in front, and we'll sing 83 choruses of The Church Bell Won't Ring Tonight, because the vicar's got the clapper. So, now, I offer you the obvious choice for villain of the piece, Mr. Clive Paget in the role of John Jasper. But let's do be serious, ladies and gentlemen. Is this the face of a murderer? So, but ladies and gentlemen, is this all there could be to the mystery of Edwin Drood? That John Jasper, the obvious choice for villain of the piece, did indeed kill his nephew Edwin Drood in a hopeless and fruitless attempt to win the affections of the fair Miss Rosa Budd. I ask you then, where then the mystery? That's taking the wind out of your sails, hasn't it, big mouths? Where then the mystery? So how stand you? For the obvious choice, or for a more perplexing solution? Now, certain cast members can be safely eliminated from the bidding. My own Mayor Sapsia and the young deputy were obviously intended for comic relief and do not play intimately into the lives of the other characters. So, we are left with the following candidates for the role of murderer.
Helena Landis, did I, in trying to save my brother, bring harm to Edwin Drood?
Basil, my need for attention has made me mad. Someone stop me before I sing again!
Stop it.
Rosebud, how on earth could someone as pure and innocent as myself murder my own true name?
Darlings, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than give Drood a frontal lobotomy.
Neville Landis, in all honesty, I cannot recall anything on what transpired once Edwin and I reached the river. But he was an odious little twit, and he deserved what he got.
Princess Papa, who am I? And what am I?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, time at last. Oh, one more, excuse me.
Thank you all, John Jasper. I have stood in the cold shade of suspicion since this story began.
Sorry, Clive. Time, ladies and gentlemen, time at last to decide who shall be your murderer for tonight. And, might I suggest that we vote by a show of hands? So, if we'll raise up the house lights, please. And, yes, let's see what we're dealing... Is this what I've been dealing with tonight? Why don't you all join hands and try contacting the living, for God's sake? Well, our cast members are now circulating amongst you to collect your vital votes. determine the murderer in our midst. And now, I'm going to offer a sip of port to your chosen fiend so that he or she may know your final verdict. And so that the ending comes as a complete surprise, I strenuously request that you all close your eyes now. Yes, pray, close them now.
Close your eyes!
Your eyes are closed. I am now offering our murderer the sip of port. Our murderer is drinking it. You may all open your eyes now. You see, you cannot trust anyone here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, as our cast begins to depart backstage, please prepare yourself for a few unexpected twists and turns as we serpentine towards the ending that you have chosen for this evening. And now, friends of the Music Hall Royale, for the first time, and at long last, by your own determination, the conclusion, the finale of the mystery of Edwin Drood. The first chapter that Mr. Dickens wrote was entitled The Dawn. And perhaps not coincidentally, the last chapter he wrote was entitled The Dawn Again. So let us begin among the cold gray tendrils of a dim English dawn.
It's bloody freezing there, Missy. What? What is it? Can you spare 3 and 6 for a Christian soul in distress? We're both Christian souls in distress, I fear, and I've little more than 3 and 6 to get me to London. Running away from something? Yes. At long last, yes. Rosa? How on earth did you know my name? Know your name? I've only known you since the day you were born. Only bathed you and fed you. Oh, don't look at me now, Rosa. I don't want you to see me like this. But can't you remember your Nan, some 12 years ago? Won't you look at me now, my dear girl, and see your Nan instead? Nan? Somewhere. I was 6, and you weren't there anymore. God bless you, you do remember. You never really knew your mother. I was the closest thing to that you had. Why did you leave me? It's a sad story, I'm afraid, but a common one, I fear. Rosa, my child, my own. I'm deeply ashamed you went through life alone. Yet despite my dreadful fall from grace, I never once forgot your name or face. One icy evening, a client of mine began to rave and crave some laudanum wine. And as he drank his cup of Satan's blood, he made the great mistake of crying Rosa Bud. Now it's one thing for them like me to mix and mingle with the likes of he. Though we're both made from God's most lowly clay and blood, how comes this man to cry out Rosabud? Well, I can't see too clear, but I followed him here, finding out who was who. I come back a time or two, then last night tracking me was this Mr. Datchery. So I followed his tracks to the lodging in the back, though I hate to confess I had seen this man undress, and I saw sudden-wise him without his full disguise. A blink of the eye and a mind that does sparkle. Dick Datchery? What's the mother Chris Sparkle?
The result of the voting.
Yes, it is I. My conscience is cleared. I've done the frock before,
in a clerical collar and vest. And if anyone knew she had feelings like you, they replied to her, surely you jest. I had also intended to find just what Jasper had on his mind. Much too eager is he that a Cloisterham see me, the murderer, God are they blind. It was a bold revolution, turning my habit around, seeking this puzzle solution, finding what was to be found. I was out on a limerick, out on a limerick, out on a limerick, yeah. I found a theatrical kit, and his statuary, I did my bit. So to clear Neville's name, I confess to my shame, was Helena too, I admit. I had followed John Jasper high-low, from the dens he descends to below. And when Puffer came here, 'twas immediately clear my suspicions were quite apropos. So I crept to the lodgings of Jasper, dressed in this garb, what a sight! There I found Rosebud's clasp, her mother she gave to that night. Jasper took it from that after hurling him dead to the wherever bed, I suppose. Dear Mother Jasper knows, and the proof is quite clear that us Jim Jasper here to be tried and then tied up and strung. And from this limerick, let him be hung.
I will not lie. I wished Ned to die. Twice dead am I. A man could split in twain, yet two our lives remain. A soldier tell who can conceal the venom in his brain. And if he pause upon the madness, opium smoke supplies, why this great surprise? There are two men in me, and cunning bright is he, who hides himself, resides himself, where I've no eyes to see. But now I think he's at the brink of breaking through the door. I'm in, he's out, I'm out, he's free, he's me once more. How many times I killed that Drood upon my flights? His flights that burst the smug presumption of his rights. His rights to share, his rights to air my rose's bed. It took no smoke for me to picture Edwin dead. That night, I filled a flask of laudanum. And to toast my Ned, and Neville I drank some. That's when my greatest flight of fancy did take place. I watched my hand outstretched towards Edwin's pale, white face. And in the moonfall, I saw my fingers clutching his neck so tightly, touching my sleeve, he felt so lightly. Moonfall that fell on me. But God, the deed was much too easily done. As much as although once it had begun. Such tragedy to finally make the kill, and not to awake to taste the thrill. Now I've confessed. Now we both can rest.
No, I can't let it happen. Yes, you placed the coat the young Drood wore that night down by the river where to throw suspicion on Neville Landless. You're a bad one, Mr. Jasper, when the evil one's inside you. But you're not a murderer. You didn't kill Edwin Drood.
Durdles, are you trying to tell us that John Jasper did not kill his nephew?
Exactly, your lordship, sir. It was a wild night that Christmas Eve, as you'll remember, Squire. And I'd sought shelter in Mr. Jasper's door. That's when I saw one amongst you throttle Edwin Drood. And in a convenient flash of lightning, I saw who it was. That was quite a long speech, Bill. Think I could have a quick nip of port?
Durdles!
Right. Suddenly I seized Mr. Jasper staggering out of his own home under the influence of potent medicine. Suddenly, he collapses. And he gets back up, and he picks up young Drood, and he carries him into the cathedral, down into the crypts, depositing the body right into Mrs. Sapsia's tomb.
What?
I told her there was enough room in there.
But Durdles, you must tell us, who killed Edwin Drood?
Lord love me. It was Helena Landless!
The words so rude of Drood had caused me great alarm. That devil might cause Neville to cause him some harm. Sister and mother to my brother I have been, and so to smother Drood I had to do Drood in. I meant no violence that Christmas morn. I meant to silence this Edwin scorn. The sky is wet, no view of light as I crept into the night. Unsteady Drood hath dazed with wine. This Eddie Drood had raised my spine. I took my veil off and lost my mind. My veil did sail off. I tossed it blind. It wound and bound his cape coat and draped around his throat. I meant to gag him, but I did snag him, so I did drag him up to hell. I'd kill another to save my brother. I did it well, and guilty am I, and blameless is he. Guilty am I cry. Shamelessly. And Rosa, please, forgive me for taking your lovely boy away from you. I only meant to save my brother. Rosa, Neville, somebody, please, I need someone's forgiveness. Damn you all.
There is your murderer for tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, we are surely entitled to a happy ending. We all have a need in our lives for love, romance, or at this hour of the evening, any reasonable facsimile thereof. So, we have one final question for you left to resolve. Which two in our story will be joined and find that commodity we all seek? Which two shall be our lovers for this evening? On the staff side, we are left with the following two female leads. The Princess Puffer and the fair Miss Rosa Budd. And again, like you did before, Mr. Throttle will place the handkerchief around the neck of each candidate and pray applaud for your own favorite as our first lover. Mr. Throttle?
Miss Rosa Budd. And the Princess Puffer.
The choice is clear. The The choice is clear. Congratulations, the princess. Now, mate, we have still a male lead to decide on to be united with the fair Princess Puffer. We have Neville Landless, Bazzard, Durdles, Deputy, and John Jasper. Now, once again, Mr. Throttle.
The young deputy. Mr. Jasper. Turtles. Mr. Bazzard. And Neville Landless.
Congratulations is due to Mr. Bazzard. Oh, excuse me, Durdles, excuse me. Mr. Durdles. And now, that's your choice, and I guess we're stuck with it.
Bazzard, I believe we're destined to be together. I'm the one woman in the whole of England that can't make you feel morally inferior. What do you say, love? A quick cuddle before we snuff it?
Oh, my princess, my little powder puff. I want to take you out of your opium den and put you back on the streets where you belong.
Oh, and will it be a white wedding?
Only if there's a blizzard.
Mr. Purcell, a gentle reprise, if you will. I believe we are going to have a love song.
Once we were perfect strangers, how strangely met are we?
I find I now adore you. Our best has yet to be.
It seems I've longed to hold you. Fate ruled it so.
You will love me, so they've told you.
Let's not resist this ending.
Once we have kissed, pretending to.
Taste the service, drink speeches. Once we were perfect strangers, and now I love you perfectly.
Ah, yes. But what of Edwin Drood? If he could only speak to us from beyond the grave, what would he tell us? What would he say?
Steel and sinew when fate stands smiling at arm's length. I escaped from in hell would wish me dead. But more than that, more than one solution fits the crime. What I've learned is that life is bits of time, and you fight for every tiny speck. When you're held by the neck, I have read the writing on the wall, and the greatest mystery is not the history of Jasper, Drood, and one and all. I have met my maker and returned. What advice I'm giving to all those living is just to learn what I have learned. Life is dear. There can be no victory in defeat. If outnumbered, beat a fast retreat to the nearest shelter and dig in. When you live, then you win, scratch and claw for every day your work.
Company of Song Review. Come see us on Friday, April 27th at 7:30. Something Old, Something New. Songs by Irving Berlin and Andrew Lloyd Webber, right? And you had something you were going to say?
Come see something old, something new.
Well, we hope that everybody will come see the show. Looks like a winner. Here's our radar. See what